Yo, yo, yo. What is going on, folks? We are back. I know it's been a few weeks, but your boys had to heal. We had to reset, refocus, and get our mind right.
Healing is important for the soul. So
Yeah, that's a
yeah,
fact.
yeah, wouldn't have wanted to see me a couple weeks ago. Anyways, I ain't have nothing good to say about nothing.
Yeah, yeah. I
Would
think
have not have been a very good conversation. I just would have been on here venting, spitting venom at everybody. So
yeah, but we back though. In the flesh. I mean, this is the off season for most fans. I know we got other teams. Whether it's the hockey team, lacrosse team, as I'm wretched representing for the Bandits today. But it's a lot of other things going on. So please, guys, I know that now that we've had a chance to heal a little bit, don't think that all is over. You can still spend time with your loved ones, your family. Yeah. I know it seems boring, but you can find other things to do for the next 6-7 months. But we here to wrap it up for this season. Really haven't talked too much about the last game. For those joining us for the first time, this is In the Zone with V and Z. I'm your boy Vel. That's my guy Z over there, Zyrus, and we here to wrap a bow on it. You can find all of our episodes on YouTube, Instagram page, Twitter page. We'll go over that at the end. But glad to say that we rode the roller coaster. So man, how you feeling, Z?
like I said the whole time, man, make sure you're enjoying the ride. So, luckily, it was fun. If nothing else, man, it was a fun season, man. Got Josh to the promised land from a MVP standpoint, so that was dope to see. But I mean, it was a fun season, man. That's kind of all I got, man. It was enjoyable. Nice to see some young players thrown into some key roles and thrive. But but at the end of the day, it was definitely disappointing, man. I think this was still a team that had the talent to go and win the whole thing. So I mean, it's definitely still disappointing that they still couldn't get over that Kansas City hump. And even with so many calls that went against them, they were still right there. And with 3 minutes left with the ball in their hands to, take the lead. So, so that definitely stings, but it definitely stings. It's still a disappointment when you get that close and can't get across that threshold. Yeah. And we were so close to being able to talk about a Super Bowl appearance for 2 weeks. Like I was looking forward to that buildup of the Bills are in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks and just talking about it and letting that excitement build and grow.
Bringing out all that apparel and
because they would have took all my money.
Oh yeah, I know, and I ain't got nothing. They just would have been getting a bunch of bullshit. But now I'm with you, man. The realest thing that I can say, and we'll go through, our favorite moment of the season. We'll go through, our thoughts on the Super Bowl, obviously the MVP, and then we'll look ahead. But like, I just want to wrap it up by saying, man, I think the Buffalo Bills have given us really an unexpected high this season because we came in, we gave our predictions. I don't remember what my total was, but I think we were both around 10
like
wins.
11, yeah 10 or 11
wins. I think 10.5 might have been like where we might have agreed on, but like I expected it to be a fight. Obviously Miami and the Jets disappointed this year, so they didn't make it as rough on us as we initially thought. But like one of the main reasons why, and we'll get into Josh Allen winning MVP, I think he won it was because, and this is not what the full award is for, but like if you look at the expectation, bro, what he gave us, and when I say he, I know it was collectively, it was James Cook, it was moments from Keon Coleman.
Yeah,
it was
but he as a leader in the face of the franchise, yeah, for sure.
As the face, we when we talk about those road games, Detroit, we talk about how they battled in LA, even though they didn't come on top. That was a lot of Josh Allen throwing on that cape and saying, listen, I'm about to start throwing darts. You know what I mean? You might can keep me in the pocket, but now I'm about to start throwing lasers. And, his ability throughout the season to give us so many different MVP moments. Like I said, we'll get back on that. But like when I look at the season and stand back, I'm thankful for being at the stadium for those home games to witness, some of those amazing throws, some of those amazing runs, some of those amazing plays, even on defense. I know we're going to talk defense at the end, but like the Terrell Bernard interception against Kansas City, the great plays that we saw from Greg Rousseau at moments. He had a couple moments during the year, but all in all, man, the Buffalo Bills gave us fans something that 99% of us didn't expect. And that was a chance to get to the Super Bowl at the end of January. That's all you can ask for as a fan. All you can ask for as a fan is like, listen, let me get to that Final Four so I can at least realistically dream of getting to that next step. Because everybody can dream in September. We can even dream in December. But when you get to the end of January and you can really be like, yo, we are one game away. That's all you can ask for as an NFL fan. Is like being that team that's battling with another juggernaut. We already know. Unfortunately for the Buffalo Bills, we got to run into Pat. So Pat was there, and then we lost by 3. But just to be able to get that close when we weren't expecting that, to me, that was bittersweet. Of course, more bitter than anything. But when I go back and I look at September and I look at August, and I remember our conversations from training camp when we talked about the safeties, we talked about the linebackers, we talked about what's wide receiver beyond Keon Coleman and beyond Khalil Shakir, and then Mac Hollins became this guy. So all in all, I must say it's still bittersweet, but I'm excited for the next really 45 days, I'll say, between the draft and free agency, because this is where you remake and just kind of retool what you already have. Like, they don't have to strip everything down because we're not the Jets. We're not the Giants. We're not shit. We can name a couple other teams in the AFC that's going to really have to break down their team. Jacksonville, Buffalo Bills right now, we really, if I can put my hands right here, if everybody can see the camera, we're about a handful of guys away. And that's why I don't believe in saying only one player. I mean, maybe one major impact player, but we're really a handful of guys away from really stomping our nemesis right now. But we know we're going to see Baltimore, Cincinnati, those teams, we'll see them. But really proud of the way they battled. And I really want to hit on that first topic to start with a celebration is, man, what was your, and we can narrow it down to 2. What was your top 2 favorite moments from the season?
Ooh. I think the first one for me, I think that Josh Allen run, the 4th and 2 against Kansas City. Like it's just the moment. It's who it was against. The time left in the game. It was just such a key and pivotal play. Like, it's iconic. Like, I believe eventually Josh Allen will get to the Hall of Fame one day. And I believe those are one of the plays that 100% is going to be on that highlight reel. Like, I think it was that level of impactful. So I think for me, that first biggest play, that's the one that comes to my mind. Second one, man, that's tough.
If you can't come up with a second one, I'll try to think of one, because I mean, you got me with the same one that you just mentioned.
That's like the hands down. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, hands down. That's like
yeah. And I'd probably say just from how crazy it was, it might be that Amari Cooper, Josh Allen lateral. Like, it's just the craziness of it. Like, something that was never been seen before. Just a quick low pass, all of a sudden, lateral back. Josh got it. Dive into the end zone again. Like, again, it's just one of those plays where it's like, what? That's another WTF moment. Like, well, what the heck just happened? I don't even understand what happened, but I know Josh made the play. So, like, I feel like those 2 kind of stick out to me as just 2 of the more memorable plays of the season.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on the 4th and 2. I don't think nothing much else got to be said other than just like remembering how that stadium felt in that moment, and with that play, just like, you know what I mean, like the rejoice. And obviously we know now, months later, we just like, you know what, we know we're gonna feel the same excitement when we play Kansas City again in the regular season, because we got to play them again. Is that at home next year? I can't remember. Or is it away?
I believe so.
Okay. Either way, I know we're going to get up for that game too, but I think we ultimately know, like, this stamped it this year, we ultimately know the playoffs. That's the main Yeah. Okay, cool. We beat them. Clap, clap, clap. You know, but let's beat them in the playoffs. But if I go moment, I got two in mind. One I want to give an underrated shout out to. Was one of the sneakier wins in the year, and that's the Seattle game. Just because, as a fan, first off, the fan experience was me going out there to see what the 12s was all about, right? And for the Bills to go into Seattle and for the fans to show up the way we did, obviously got a chance to try some food out there and spend a little bit of time around Seattle. So good experience overall. But I mentioned that as an underrated moment because we know about the big moments. You already mentioned too. We know about beating Detroit on the road. Big moment. We know about going back and forth with LA, even in a loss. But I think those underrated games is really what this team was all about this year, is because we won those 50-50 games. We talked
that
about
Seattle game was fun.
Yeah, that was a 50-50 game that we literally just beat up on them on the road. And Keon Coleman, and this is pre-injury, probably had his best game that game. So like those are the type of games I feel like go and get swept under the rug when we talk about big moments. But it's one I wanted to point out because first, obviously I was there because I'm trying to think about, I'm like, man, I went to Houston, but I know I went to Seattle too. So want to shout out to just a moment of beating Seattle middle of the season, because that was like a 50-50 game that we had to have looking back on it. The other one, I'm gonna go playoffs on this one.
Okay.
I gotta go Baltimore.
Yeah.
I gotta go Baltimore, and just a shout out to just the defense in that first half. Because when we talk about moments, obviously we could take a play or we can take a half, a quarter. And being in that stadium for that first half in that Baltimore game, being up the way we were, it like honestly, that was very close to getting to New England territory, the way we beat up on New England 3-4 years ago. And the whole crowd was just between stunned and just excited. That's how I felt being in my seat. Like, I remember the feeling of me smacking hands with my guy next to me, the thigh doctor, and all these other people. We up here smacking hands, and we like, yo, is this real right now? Like, are they literally like just giving us the ball?
Yeah,
so like, you said what?
I said, yeah, this is happening.
Yeah, so it was such an unreal moment watching that first half. Obviously, shout out to Lamar and them for making it close after that. But those moments in the first half where we were just taking that ball away and that excitement throughout that stadium, that noise in that first half, oh man, it's like everybody knew. And just to be able to, have that moment for Baltimore fans to talk smack to them for a week. And I ain't really indulge with all that, but I remember I did save a couple of tweets. So I remember walking back to the RV. I'm just LOL.
Yeah.
What was I had a hashtag. Oh, what was said? It was something I was tweeting. It was like hashtag what was said now or something like that. But that feeling was just, I mean? Like that was our rival for this past season. Every year we pick a different fan base to go at. But Ravens flock, whatever you want to call Flock Nation.
Yeah, that was it.
That was our beef. And we was able to come away, win that game, and get that MVP. So big moments, underrated moments. I like to call those last underrated moments. But I'll leave it at that. Anything else that we forget about from moments? I think those four. I would say.
I'll say for me, those are I'm trying to think of like big defensive moments, but I'll say that first Miami game with the two Jamarcus Ingram interceptions, the one with the pick six, and I think Benford got won that game too. Yeah. So that game was just fun defense. Anytime we just beat up on Miami is fun. Yeah. So, but that was definitely a fun one. I'm just trying to think of any big defensive moments, but I'm kind of drawing blanks on the defense.
Nah, it's cool because we're gonna come back to the defense to close it out. When we talk about looking at the future, we're gonna have to talk about the defense. And that leads me to this next quick convo because it's not gonna be a long episode, guys. I know we could talk forever, but we're not gonna hold y'all for long. But Super Bowl thoughts, and when we go Super Bowl thoughts, I want us to mix in the halftime show because that was debated a little bit, so we can kind of combine it. We can kind of combine it too. But what were your thoughts on the game, man?
I didn't watch a ton of it. It's for me, it was Kansas City fatigue, man.
Yeah.
Just the game, didn't really do much for me at all. So I mean, I definitely popped in and caught some of the first half. So I started watching as Patrick Mahomes started throwing all them interceptions. I'm like, oh, it's what we on. So it was enjoyable to see them lose in that fashion. Just I'm taking Kansas City. So call it petty, whatever adjective you want to use. Yeah, I'm petty, whatever.
I think you were alone, so you good.
Yeah, no. So it was nice to see. But I think I said it to you multiple times on the show. Reason why I was worried about Philly is because that defense is a wagon, and they showed exactly what they can do when they show up. That D line just went crazy. The boys just went off. They went off. Kansas City weren't able to run the ball at all, which has kind of been true all season. But they ran up against a D line that they couldn't stop.
So can I want to pause you right there because I want to add in just my quick 6 cents on what you just said. I think that's a good point that you bring up about they also weren't able to run, because people forget, and this is why the Bills got to address both, that it's one thing to get after the pass. You got to still be able to stop the run. And the one thing Philly got that a lot of teams don't got, they got the edge guys.
They got the boys in the middle.
They got them boys in the middle. That Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. I remember when they drafted them boys, because it wasn't too long ago. When they drafted the boys
back-to-back years at that too.
Back-to-back years. Getting you 2 Georgia Bullets, man, listen.
When them boys got Jalen Carter, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, and they try to talk about us off the field shit, which we won't get into, like how we gotta
can you ball?
How we gotta stop focusing on. All right, this motherfucker was in the front of the class. You know, he had his.
Can you ball? That's the tough part though, because like when the Bill, I mean, granted, last 6-7 years they in the back end of the draft every year. So it's like, even for the people that have character concerns and they may drop a little bit, they never drop to the end of the first. They may slip to 12 or 15 or something. That's where the Eagles were able to jump in.
Exactly.
Like, man, can I get somebody with some character flaws drop to the end of the first, please?
Right. So you can continue on. I just had to add that.
Yeah, but my biggest concern the whole time about Philly and the potential matchup against Philly was just that defense, and specifically that defensive line. And they showed up. They didn't blitz at all until the game was in garbage time. They're getting after him before. So we got all these players on the back end covering. Kelsey looking all of 35.
Yeah, he done.
None of the receivers outside of Worthy is doing much of anything, and Patrick Mahomes is running for his life. And that's obviously a recipe for failure. So like, it can be done. You look at Kansas City's 2 Super Bowl losses now. They get beat down by Philly, couldn't stop the pass rush. They get beat down by Tampa Bay, couldn't stop the pass rush. There's something to that. But it's just tough putting it all together, because most days he can get the ball out at the blink of an eye. So it's tough. But Super Bowl was cool.
Yeah, I and did you get a chance to watch halftime?
Yeah. I made it to make sure that I was going to tune in for the halftime show. So I kept keeping an eye on the score just to see where they were at in the time. So I did catch the Super Bowl halftime show.
How you feel about
it? I mean, me personally, I loved it. Me personally, I said, I love everything. See, but I am a sucker for the showmanship. I'm a sucker for thought. I'm a sucker for the actual art behind a performance, not just necessarily am I up, am I dancing?
Yeah, facts.
So, so I appreciate all the thought that went behind everything, the stage design, the appearance of the dancers, what they were doing, how everything transitioned, the song choices, the lyrics of the songs in the order that they went. Like, so having Samuel L. Jackson on there as Uncle Sam, like all those parts, like I enjoy that when I'm watching the performance. The whole time I'm watching, I'm like, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I'm on the world's biggest stage from a performance standpoint.
And that's where I'm at, really. Like, I'm not gonna get too deep into the performance because obviously it was about football. But like, when I saw the wide range, I'll just call it, of reactions, I'm like, y'all gotta understand. They asked this man to do this, whatever, 7, 8, 9 months ago, whatever. And at a time when he was the biggest not biggest, let's say most talked about rapper in that moment when they asked him. So they knew what they were getting themselves into. So it wasn't going to be no major censorship because the NFL and the people who, do the entertainment. I think Jay-Z is still involved, but like they knew what they were doing. So like you're now giving him freedom to use his speech, which kind of like what Beyonce did, years ago, used her platform to say, listen, I'm going to make this shit black as hell. But not only I'm going to make it black as hell, but I'm going to put some symbols out there. I'm going to throw some things out there that maybe it might go over y'all head, but my intended crowd going to understand what the hell I got going on. And I think that Kendrick did a great job of, kind of like you said, using different symbols, different people, the song selections. Like I said, everybody might not get it. I get it. But there's also been plenty of times I've watched the halftime show and be like, all right, shit, it's time for me to get some food. It's not meant for everybody. And that's what people got to understand is like, when they put this stuff together, and especially since they've had Jay-Z in charge, since they've had his input on some of these decisions, it's not going to make everybody happy. I'm just glad that we took what was a moment from last year and we put it on the main stage for the whole world to be like, listen, whether y'all fuck with this or not, this has been our culture's moment for the last 12 months. We've been in the middle of this Drake Kendrick situation for the last year, and now y'all gonna have to see it on the world's biggest stage, whether y'all like it or not. And whether y'all want to pick Drake's side or Kendrick's side, they've chosen to make Kendrick the guy to represent for the halftime. So y'all gonna have to deal with this diss track. Y'all gonna have to deal with some songs y'all don't know. But at the end, I loved it because I'm just a fan of pure entertainment, first off. So from an entertainment standpoint, it's like you giving me shit that I can talk about. Because now I can be like, he really, nah.
It's thought provoking. It's not just, I'm not just sitting here reciting lyrics. Like I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate the theatrics behind the performance.
Yeah. And I just like beef in general. Like from a rap standpoint, like nobody done got killed behind this. At least I don't know. Like,
as a semi petty dude myself, I can appreciate that level of petty.
Bro, that's where I'm at. Like I ain't gotta.
I don't know what you want to say. My man looked dead in the eye in the cameras. He looked everybody in the world in the eyes. Say, Drake, I hear you like him young.
Oh man,
with a smile on his face. I said, bro, you a cold one.
But like I said, we talking about a culture, because we can speak about hip hop real quick, that have seen, if we go back to the 90s, motherfuckers go crazy.
With more disrespectful stuff than that.
Right. With violating motherfuckers. Like, I fucked your baby mom. Like,
I was about to say that's why I fucked your bitch.
Like we didn't start the track. But to be able to do that on the main stage, bro, that's history. And that's why I said you don't got to pick a side to realize our culture was on the main stage of the biggest event of the year, and we had a motherfucker bring their beef to the main stage. I don't care what side you pick. It could have been Drake. If Drake had won that battle and he violated on stage, I would have felt the same way. I would have been like, oh, damn, I can't believe Drake just did that.
Even the teasing of the track throughout the performance too. I said, oh yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
That's some evil genius mastermind stuff.
I love it because you making people make decisions, and that's what I like too. That's the genius too. Is like for the people who want to pick side, whatever, you making his motherfuckers in Toronto, his posse. What they doing? Turn off the TV, y'all for the next 20 minutes. Y'all make sure y'all turn that TV off. That's the crazy part. Is like you literally fucking with motherfuckers' emotions, their money. Because now we ain't watching the Super Bowl this year. Says who?
Right.
Drake said we can't watch it this year. Huh?
So Drake got a bet on this game. He can't not watch that game.
Right, but you got to think, if you members of his crew, imagine this motherfucker tell y'all niggas like, y'all on my payroll, y'all not watching the Super Bowl. And you in that room,
like phone in that room.
Like, yeah, right. You know niggas on their phone. Boys like
watching the game.
What you looking at? Nah, I'm just on TikTok. I'm on TikTok right now. Interception. Oh, what you mean interception? Huh?
Nah, yeah, none.
Fucking
College, bro. College.
right. I'm watching the fucking You ain't know the NCAA championship.
Yeah, man. This shit is just hilarious, man. It's just the little subtle jabs.
Man,
Want
entertainment.
to play their favorite song, but you know they like to sue. Like, come on, man. Now you even throwing salt in the wound. I don't want to get too far into the conversation, but how does Drake recover from this at this point? Like,
just do what he about to do. He about to drop a joint album, I guess, this week. So cool. All right, drop some more.
Joint album with who?
I think Party Next Door or something like that. That's what I saw. I don't know if it's confirmed. So by the time this episode dropped, maybe everybody will know that for sure. But
maybe
I mean, but even with dropping music, like he got punched so hard in the chest with this, I ain't gonna hold you. You can recover because you are so talented and you can continue to put out music. But from an image standpoint, motherfuckers gonna remember the day another dude winning the Super Bowl halftime.
He cannot have a beef with anybody else.
You know,
your beef days are done, Drake.
Yeah, because he survived Pusha T and I fuck with Pusha T because Pusha T was just on some grimy shit. I'm gonna just violate you for being a bad father shit.
Because he took an L against Pusha T, but again, Drake is still such a brand. He can overcome that L. This one is
Kendrick took it to the main stage.
He's been taking the L for the last like 8 months from this track.
And if you
won 2 Grammys off this track, like
bruh,
2 Grammys off of this track.
Then you throw in the greatest probably woman athlete of all time, Serena, on stage doing a crib
Number
walk.
1, undoubted.
That's what I'm saying. So like, bro,
your former homie,
bro. That is, like I said, I salute. That's all I gotta say. Salute Kendrick.
Yes, LA. She from the town, so there's that. However, I know they passed things. So
his love for Serena. So again, he won the Petty Award. He won the Most Entertaining Award for the last 12 months. He collected Grammys. Salute the man. Like I said, you don't got to choose a side. You could choose a side, but you can also be like, he got that.
Yeah, no, but there's a lot of people who didn't like it. But I said, shit, everything ain't for everybody.
It ain't. And that's why I said it's been plenty. Like, I'm 36. I've seen plenty of Super Bowls where I just took my plate and said, shit, where the
There's been how many Super Bowls when you got 70s classic rock artists at the Super Bowl in the 2000s? Bro, you've been out for 50 years. Ain't nobody trying to see you. However, there's a market for that. So there are people who want to see it. But it's just, I'm not the target audience.
Hey, knock yourself out. I'll be back in 15 minutes. I'm about to go make a couple shots. All right. And I'll use the bathroom. And I might actually run to the store.
I got time at Super Bowl. I got 25 minutes.
Yep,
we good.
That's the way it go. That's the way it go. But anyways, past that, my quick thoughts on the actual game was just pressure. You already mentioned it, man. That D-line totally violated the whole game. The back end, we already know they got good corners over there. Good linebacker play. I mean, they had a guy who was nominated for Defensive Player of the Year, and I think Zach Braun is his name. So, like, that shows you on all 3 levels, Eagles at least had a playmaker on all 3 levels. And it's not to say that, if we compare it to our team, it's not to say that the Bills didn't have a playmaker in the secondary, because I think Christian Benford took that step to be actually one of the top corners in the league. Now, has he reached PS2 / whatever level? I think he's a tier right below that. I think you can honestly mention Benford as one of the top 10 corners in the game. But from a playmaking standpoint, I feel like this next year, he's going to really be able to show that, because he's going to get some more pressure up front from the guys that they're going to add. And then from a linebacker standpoint, we already know we got Pro Bowl level linebackers with Bernard and Milano. If Milano comes back, if not, I'm excited to see what our guy Williams will be doing. But then up front, you saw what the Eagles did, just having 2 massive guys, and Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis especially. Bro, we just talked about it 15 minutes ago. The fact that you got them side by side, first of all, is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, is crazy.
Yeah, and that size and that level of athleticism. I mean, Jordan Davis. I mean, that man.
That boy is a wall.
Huge, massive. And Jalen Carter, that man, as big as he is, running a 4.8, a 4.7, whatever he did. I said, first of all, no one that big should be able to run that fast. That should not, bro. Football aside. Imagine you talking to a girl in the bar or something,
Yeah.
This her brother, and he pull up on you
Yeah.
and chasing you down the street or something like that. Somebody that big, that fast, that's a deadly combination, bro.
Yeah. And that's one of the main takeaways. Because like I said, I ain't dissecting the game from start to finish because I don't got to do all that. Most people who watched the game, we saw what happened. It wasn't the Saquon Barkley show.
Nope, it wasn't even the offensive show at all.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't.
The defense gave them short field. Yeah. The offense capitalized a deep shot over the top, and that's game.
Yeah, because you don't have to do much when you.
Nope. When your defense ball out like that.
Yeah, when your defense ball out and when you grab that momentum early. You know, I talked about the Baltimore Bills game earlier. Like the Bills, when they played Baltimore, they set the tone from the jump. So even if it got close at the end, which credit to Baltimore in our divisional game, they made the game closer because we took the gas off. But anyways, when you especially in the playoffs, when you get that momentum early, you got to stay down. You got to pin your ears back and you got to stay physical. You got to stay on top of everything because a team like Kansas City, they waiting for that one moment that you mess up.
That's all it takes.
That one moment, and they back in the game. But the thing is, Philly kept that gas. They kept getting after it. They kept, you know what I mean, applying pressure on offense. When they needed to take the shot, they took the shot. You know, which ended up being a dagger. So shout out to Philly, shout out to Jalen Hurts, shout out to Saquon Barkley, obviously overcoming what he's come through in his career, being with a team that obviously wasn't going anywhere. They didn't want to pay him.
Now you're the Super Bowl champ. Because coming into this, I said I trust Philly's defense. I just don't know if I can trust Jalen Hurts. And he did everything he needed to do. Didn't put up gaudy numbers. But he led his offense, put points up on the board, and proved that he can do it. So kudos to him. He did exactly what he needed to do to get his team a dub. So shout out to him. He took care of it.
And I think that's the underrated portion of the Super Bowl that it's getting talked about. So I don't want to say it's not, but just appreciation for Jalen Hurts and his growth. Just as a leader, as a quarterback. Because we talk about his legs, tush push. But we hear that being Bills fans. Oh, Josh Allen, tush push. But it goes beyond that. And I always say being a quarterback in this league is so tough to begin with because you have the weight of the team on your shoulders. Whether y'all win or you lose, it's going to come back to you. But you got to protect the football. You got to make sure you reading everything the right way. So the way he played point guard, I'll just call it that, throughout that game, that was CP3 level right there. That was prime CP3. The way he played that game was like, all right, when I gotta pull up from three, I'm gonna pull up from three. When I gotta take off and push the tempo, I'm gonna push the tempo. When I gotta be safe, I'm gonna be safe. So elite point guard play from Hurts. He has been really clutch most of his career. Like that's the one thing that most people don't talk about is in close games. Philly normally comes out on top. We saw that when we played them a couple years ago. We went into overtime with Hurts. That motherfucker walked that shit down so quick and then walked his ass in the end zone. I was so mad. I'm like, bro, what did I just watch? But he's so poised. And that's the thing. Like quarterback play, really a lot of it comes down to how poised can your quarterback be in those big moments. We've watched Josh be poised and we've watched him not be poised in some moments. And that's, I think, the next step for an elite quarterback. And it's not to say Josh is obviously not elite, but like consistently in those moments, can your quarterback play his role and do his part to get you to where you got to get to ultimately win that championship. So shout out to Jalen. Whether you want to rank him in the top 5, top 10, it don't matter. Jalen, like, listen, I'm a Super Bowl winner. So y'all can leave me off the list for all I care. I got a ring. I got MVP. Well, we talked about what's the ultimate MVP? Super Bowl MVP. So Jalen Hurts got one. He got one before Josh. He got one before Lamar. So all these fan bases, we can keep talking about, my quarterback this, my quarterback that. My man Jalen Hurts said, y'all go ahead and debate that. I'm going to take this Super Bowl MVP trophy, hang this up, go back to my beautiful wife, go back to my beautiful children, and we're going to just watch y'all debate. Or guess what? We ain't even going to watch y'all debate. We're going to just watch a BET movie and just fucking next. Some stupid shit. But speaking of MVP, man, I see we're around 35-minute mark, so I'm going to get to it. Initial thoughts, man. When the honors was coming out and the Bills media started posting, Josh Dad in the house, Brandon Bean in the house, man. What was your feelings, man?
Yeah, I was, funny thing is I forgot all about the NFL honors. like the actual award ceremony itself. It's because I just forgot about it. I realized, oh, it's tonight. Cool.
Yeah.
So as the day goes on, I start seeing talking about Josh Allen odds MVP all of a sudden start skyrocketing. Like you said, oh, Sean McDermott there. Oh, Brandon Beane there. Oh, his parents there. Oh, his future wifey there. I said,
Uh-oh.
Right?
I don't see Lamar.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, what we got going on? So, the whole, again, my conviction hasn't really changed. Like, I mean, I still thought he was the one that was most deserving of it. And I say most because there were other players also deserving of the MVP. Just because one person has to win, it doesn't mean other people weren't worthy. Lamar Jackson 100% was a worthy candidate.
Facts.
Saquon Barkley, in my opinion, 100% was a worthy candidate. Yeah. Joe Burrow, right there too.
Right there.
If that dude had 2 more wins, it's a different story.
Even the rookie QB, Jaden.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels, Jared Goff. Like these all our people had who legit had MVP caliber seasons, but only one person can win it. And I felt like Josh was the most deserving. And I will say him winning that MVP definitely took some of the sting out of losing. It doesn't replace a Super Bowl or even going to a Super Bowl, but I will say I'd be lying if I said it didn't ease some of those pains a little bit, just knowing like, but I know we didn't get to the ultimate finish line, but my guy finally gets the recognition that he deserves. So I think this was extremely well deserved. I mean, I don't think it could have happened to a better human. Just his impact, not even on the football field, but his massive impact here in the community, in the Buffalo area in general. Like it couldn't happen to a better person, man. Super down to earth, super humble. I'm proud to say that I have a MVP quarterback now.
Facts. And we got the most recent one. So it helps us going into the season, having those bragging rights. Like you can debate it all you want to, but being able to be like, I got the NFL MVP. What you mean? From 2012? No, from
people thought it's a pity MVP. Lamar should have won this and that, but he didn't.
But he didn't.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, you can't take it away from him.
And you're not gonna sit here and lie to me and tell me he didn't have no MVP moment. Like it's one thing to be like, my guy should have won. Okay, cool. Lamar, cool. I can hear you out. But don't sit here and try to act like Josh Allen is fucking Josh McCown or fucking Rob Johnson. That's what you're not going to do. Like, you're going to sit here and tell me, oh, so cool, Lamar should have won. What are you trying to tell me about Josh Allen? You trying to say he's not good? You trying to say he's not worthy? Like, what are you trying to say? Oh, well, the stats was better. Okay, cool. I can hear you. But we also realize that the stats hasn't always shown that you're going to ultimately win MVP just because you got the stats. Oh, well, you can want first team all pro. But yeah, so maybe they got it right this time where they realize just because you first team all pro in a category don't also mean that you're the most valuable player in the league. And I think that's what it comes down to for me is maybe we finally got the voters to understand the term valuable and also who's the best. Like, I get it. Growing up, you hear MVP, you think, oh, that's the best player in the league. All right, MVP. But we also do realize that there are times in basketball and football and probably even other sports where the best player in the league don't win the MVP. We saw LeBron, Kobe, all them guys in their prime. If we're going to keep giving it to the best player of the year, them motherfuckers should have 20, right? They should have 15. They should have 10. But every once in a while, you're going to get a Steve Nash who going to take a 30-win Phoenix Suns team and bring them to win 60, 65 games. Playing with Sean Marion and fucking Quentin Richardson. You know what I mean? Like this is what the term valuable is all about. It's like, guess what? I'm not saying you the best. And honestly, in Josh Allen's case, I mean, he in that fucking category, but I'm not saying you the best, but I'm saying from a value standpoint, and I know people hate saying this, but if I remove your piece, if I remove that from the lineup, this team probably winning 4 games, 5 games, 6 games max. And that's just all it comes down to. If you watch Buffalo Bills football, which most of the world did because they were on national TV a lot, if you watch any of those Bills games and you say, all right, shit, fuck it, for Christ, for no reason at all, let me take Josh Allen off and let's insert Zach Wilson. Where that team going? Oh, they're not going back and forth with Detroit. They're not going back and forth with the Rams. They're not going beat Baltimore. You know what I mean? So they're not going on the road beating Seattle. So
yeah, and I think also what has to be taken into consideration, one, having the 2 seed, but also beating the number 1 seed in both conferences.
That's what I'm saying.
The 2 best teams in the league, that has to count for something.
It's who you play to. And I heard an analyst break that down too. It's not all the record and this and that, the stats. It's like
which he has.
Right. It's the combination though. And if you put everything in one hat and you shake it, whatever way you want to throw it around, those two guys were both worthy. It just happened that Josh Allen, for most of the people voting, had the slight edge. And it was literally a slight edge. So you're going to get mad because it was a slight edge? Oh, no, but the stats. Oh, no. All right, you're just talking about one category. So let's just group stats as stats. But no, but what about this particular stat? That is still called stats. So now let's move the stats to the side. Now let's break down everything else. Who did they play? Who did they beat? All right, cool. Now let's go to MVP moments. Just like we got Heisman moments in college, let's talk MVP moments. All right, great. We got the Lamar throwing out of bounds, and he got the touchdown in that game. I don't know who they were playing, the Browns, Cincinnati, whoever. Okay, cool. I can remember that off the top of my head. Okay, I remember that play. Give me another MVP moment from Lamar. Oh, you stuck? Oh yeah, but when they fucking played the Raiders, and he fucking I can ask an average fan right now. Do you remember the top moments from Josh Allen? Oh man, that play against San Francisco, that shit was crazy. Oh, that run against Kansas City, 4th and 2. Woo-wee. Right. That bomb that he doing. Like Josh Allen had multiple MVP moments, and I remember them coming on TV the next day. Greeny, all those guys, they was like, man, listen, that dude the best guy in football. I'm sorry. And it was late November, early December, and they didn't want to declare it over, but half of them did. They like, nah, that motherfucker the MVP. I know it's 6 weeks left. That is the MVP. Lamar didn't have a lot of those moments. Where motherfuckers was coming in on Monday morning on ESPN like, nah, Lamar MVP. I'm sorry. That shit I saw last night, give it to him right now. But then all of a sudden we want to backtrack because the last 5-6 weeks, Bills didn't play nobody. So, okay, Josh Allen stats start to look, okay, average 200 yards, one touchdown.
Blah, they didn't even need those games, so
That's not even. They didn't need because they won. They won the division by the first week of December.
Yeah.
But
so I'm just getting the car into the garage. I just need the whole serve. Like
I'm just trying to make sure anybody behind me. All right, I'm about to back in real quick. But last but not least, I do want to give a shout out to the message that he had and how it impacted the life of Mr. Slick Rick there, the mailman.
Shout out to Slick Rick.
Shout out to Slick Rick. If you haven't watched the video, very touching. It's on the Bills page. It's on Sports Center page.
I haven't watched the whole one. The full
I haven't either. I watched the 50. It was like a 55-second clip.
Yeah, I saw the short clip.
But so impactful because and I was gonna play it for my team at work. Because I always got a Bills message or a Bills video I show them, every once in a while. I haven't done it in like 2.5 weeks, so they've been out. But it goes to show you, man, like being generous, kind, and paying attention to those around you. It goes a long way. I'll send a quick. It's only gonna take me a minute to explain this, but I got 2 examples of this in my own personal life. One was at an award ceremony recently for my job out in Cleveland, Spotlight, and one of our guys. I don't know if he's gonna watch this episode. I'm probably gonna force him to watch this episode. His name is MJ. He got a porter position at our job where there's a lot of different things around the building that sometimes can go unnoticed at an average place. Whether it's helping us with pickups, cleaning, making sure everything looks great in the building, and we all have worked amongst people like that, and we kind of take them for granted, right? You say hi, hello, and maybe you keep it pushing. But we treat this guy so good, and he won, I think, support guy of the year or support personnel of the year. And my man came in Cleveland. He got the award. He got invited. Obviously, he came in with the suit on and looking all nice and fresh and clean. And the man got emotional because he was getting an award. Like, man, it was like a Grammy to the man. And he was so thankful for the kind words that we had. And he even made me get a little teary-eyed in the moment because I'm just like, I love seeing people get appreciated like that because it's something as simple as just acknowledging them, letting them know, hey, you exist. Hey, you're important. You're just as important as me. Just because I'm the MVP quarterback don't mean I don't know who the mailman is at our facility. Don't mean that I can't shout you out, even on the biggest stage. So, and then the other example I had was, we was just holding the door open for 2 ladies yesterday at my job. And these ladies were so happy we did that. Like these 2 ladies, one got a cane, the other one walking in right behind her. She said, oh my God, I can't believe you guys came outside to open the doors for us. We ain't get that. We just came from Raymore Flanagan. They ain't do that to us. Hour later, they bought from us and they just kept complimenting us like, man, y'all gave us such a great experience, et cetera, et cetera. But I say that to say, like, it's the small things. It's the little things that we do to show how kind we can be as humans. That a lot of people, they don't get that same experience everywhere. And for Josh Allen to be the kind of person he is, the soul that he has, to just recognize those around him, to be able to remember Mr. Slick Rick. I know that's just his nickname. It just made me think about all those different things that we do day to day that really change the way people view us. And that's why I know I try to lead with kindness, man. I know I ain't perfect, but I try to make sure I treat people well, because it's just as small as a shout out brought that man to tears. And now he getting, shout outs on Sports Center. He getting shout outs with the Buffalo Bills media. And it was just as simple as Josh Allen getting on that stage saying, "Hey man, shout out to guy Slick Rick, the lunch people, the people in the hallways who do this, who do that." Because it literally, to be successful in life, it takes everybody to kind of help get you to that point that you want to get to. So definitely wanted to get that shout out. I know that was a little long-winded, but that was very touching story. And shout out to our quarterback.
Yeah, 100%. Like
I said, I knew I was going on, but I'm like,
it's true though, because and it just reminds me, like, no one ever reaches a certain level of success by themselves. It takes other people, it takes a team of people, and he just pointed that out. It's not just me, it's not just the players on the field, but it's the training staff, the nutrition folks, Slick Rick, and like and the fact that he is, one, able to recognize that, and two, be willing to acknowledge that is huge. And and it just goes to show, the character of the man winning the award. So it's just dope to see, man. It's just dope to see.
Faux show. But want to wrap this up in a bow. Like I said, it's been great. Catching up with y'all, whether it's been every week, every other week. We've been doing this now going on 3 years. 7-8 months, from the moment we started this season. I think we started back in April or whatever it was when we started talking draft. But as always, we're gonna go on our little mini break up until season 4 starts, and I'm sure we'll be talking a lot of draft, free agent reactions. And I really hope the next time we connect with y'all, we got some great breaking news. Some great news, some great additions.
Yeah, but we'll definitely catch up before free agency starts, before we actually get to.
We definitely got to throw in a free agency episode. So
we'll be back before then. It's just a couple weeks off.
Just a couple weeks off. We do hope that y'all are enjoying the break that we do have. Like I said, Bills news will never stop. I think the funny thing about the off season is it don't even really feel like the off season once it start going. Because once free agency kick in, you get the highlights from
there. Might as well be starting.
Right. Yeah. It really does. And obviously for fans like me of other sports, we still got basketball going on. March Madness about to begin. Even though my
NBA is about to get crazy, all these trades dropping. So
Luke, shout out to Luka and them boys switching teams and shit.
I woke up to that news. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, that hit us on the East Coast different. Yeah, that was crazy. I don't even know if we don't got enough time to even dive deep into that. But
I saw that. I said, ooh, I don't think nobody saw that coming. That wasn't on anybody's radar.
Now the West is crazy. Oh, and the West is always gonna be crazy. I mean, as long as LeBron is in the league and as long as they got competition over there, the West is just
Golden State looking like a whole different team now after the Jimmy trade. Like
Jimmy B. Yeah, and my Knicks, they still trucking along. I think the biggest thing with my team, for those who know I'm a Knicks fan, is like get healthy. I don't ask for much, man. Get healthy. They look good.
Story every year lately.
It is. It's almost like the old Buffalo Bills.
Can they stay healthy for a playoff run?
Yeah, because
if so, watch out.
Yeah, because if so, I mean, I got Mitchell Robinson, I got OG Anunoby in the wings waiting to join what we already got going on with Brunson and Karl Anthony and Josh Hart now playing. I don't know what's wrong with Josh Hart. This man playing like he 22 again, and like he the best role player ever. That's all I can say.
Dropping numbers.
Yeah, his stats, like, man, shout out to Josh Hart anyway. So, but yeah, man, it's a great time to take a break because we already know we got to reset, refocus, refuel. But happy Black History Month. And for those who work in the sales world, this weekend is a big weekend. But if you don't, get your money up, stay safe, stay healthy. Heavy on to stay healthy because, man, last 2 months been crazy around this. I don't know if it's just Western New York, if it's the country, if it's the world, but God damn it, it's been so many different stuff going around. Please, y'all, drink y'all water. Don't shake too many hands. Don't touch too many people. But I'm telling you right now, shit going around will knock excuse my language, it will knock you out. Because I know I was knocked out about a month and a half ago. So please, y'all.
Nonstop. And I do want to say a quick shout out to myself. I don't even know the exact. What's today's date? Yeah, celebrating my real estate anniversary. Started year 8 now. I don't even know if I even talked about what I do on this spot, but
probably not.
Those who don't know, I am a licensed real estate agent up here in Buffalo, as I have been. But start of year 8, so. I just want to give a little shout out to myself for that little milestone for me. I'm proud of myself for still being here.
Congratulations, man. And like he said, man, he in real estate. So we don't talk about our jobs too much on here, but he's the right man to hit up if you want to, venture into some things in that world. So y'all hit Cyrus up. He ain't too hard to find. Y'all can type in his name on Instagram. Y'all can type
one of me. Well, shit, 2 of me now, I guess.
You said what happened?
I said there's only one of me, and then I said, oh, well, shit, I guess 2 of me now.
I'm about to say, yeah.
Only one of me you can find.
Yeah, I'm about to say you can't find Baby Z unless he's doing stuff behind our back. But
man, I see a Facebook page and Instagram page I don't know about.
Hold on.
Right, I'm put past these kids. Shit.
I know, right? But congrats, 8 years, big accomplishment. I was just talking job stuff with some other people and just reflecting back on my own, 10, 11, 12 years working in my field. So it's man, time just flies. That's all I can say. Time flies, but you just got to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, taking care of your family the best way that you can, and stay motivated. Stay hungry. That's something I remind myself every morning. No matter what field you're in, no matter what you got going on, remember that there's always more out there, and don't take your experience light. That's something I always have to remind myself is like, man, all of the things I've learned, all of the things that I've been taught, and just the amount that we've accomplished since graduating from school. And even if you haven't graduated from college or high school, be proud of where you are, but just stay motivated because there's so much out there. I know a lot of times with our world, we can kind of get blindsided by all the negative, but there's really a lot out there. It's just a matter of getting in the right mindset and surrounding yourself with the right people. That's going to get you there. That's why I appreciate Josh for shouting out his fiance, because sometimes it takes a minor change in who you have in your household to get you to where you got to go. That is one of the most underrated things about life, especially as a young man and even as a young woman. It's like getting the right people in your household, in your inner circle to get you going to where you got to go can sometimes make the world a difference. So get the right people around you. If you got bad apples in your corner, get them out, throw them away, and move forward. We got a lot to get into for the rest of this year. It is still early. So don't throw 2025 away. If you don't like the way January went, if you don't like the way the first 2 weeks of February went, get focused because we still got a lot of time on the clock. But tomorrow isn't promised. So remember, take each day like it's your last day, but live life to the fullest. I will end it by saying happy Valentine's Day to all of you lovers out there. I don't care if you're not with nobody. Remember to love yourself more than anything. That's a quick message I got, and I'm just shooting off the top of my head. But remember, self-love is the best love. So if you ain't got nobody, don't dwell on that. Because let me tell you, there's people out there in fake relationships. There's people out there in fake marriages.
Talk about it.
You know what I mean? So make sure more than anything, you love yourself. You get to the point where you can love yourself. So if you're not there, continue to work on that love. And I'm pretty sure, I'm 1,000% sure that love will find your way in other ways and other shapes and forms. So that's my message to wrap up season 3. You got anything, Z?
Oh, that's it, man. As always, man, I just appreciate y'all rocking with us for, in this case, another season, man. Another year, still here, still doing it.
Supposed to be the Super Bowl season, but that's all right.
Yeah, man. We were supposed to be having like a parade sometime this week, man.
Man.
I thought this was it, man. I thought this was the moment, man. It was so close. But what do we say every year? There's always next year. So we'll be back at it, ready to roll. coming here ready to talk with y'all every week. So we just appreciate y'all rocking with us again, man.
Yes, sir. Next episode. Yep, you already said it, but next episode will be the free agency episode. Stay tuned for that. You can find us on Twitter. I believe it's still In the Zone with VNZ. You can find us on Instagram. Type in the same words. You'll be able to find us. If you don't got us individually, it's Vel B_low on Twitter. I know I remember your Twitter name on there, but you can shout it out if you want to.
I'm pretty sure it's _Zyrus. Which is real
yeah, I think it might be. Yeah. So you can find us on Twitter. You can find us on IG. But either way, we will make sure that we keep y'all posted for the next episode. But like I said, be on the lookout for that. Y'all be safe. Y'all be cool. Let's close out this month strong. We still got a couple more weeks, so let's get it, baby. Go Bills as always. It's your boy Bills.
Say what my man Josh said. Do good, be good. God bless.
Yeah, Go Bills, baby.
And it's Iris. Appreciate y'all again.
Yeah, and it's Val. Peace. Bang bang.